What's up, TCC, TU, and ORU? It is Samson here again for another podcast of The Fitting Room. I want to thank y'all so much for joining us for another episode of The Fitting Room. I want to thank y'all so much for joining in on creating a culture here in Tulsa, Oklahoma of listening and loving, because listening is loving. I appreciate all those that have been watching all the podcasts. It's crazy to, see podcast numbers starting to be in the 80s, 90s, and even 100. And I'm like, I remember when it was just like one person watching this, and like it's probably my mom or something. But now, just seeing all the students and different people who are just joining around, it's encouraging. It's encouraging and it's pushing forward. And we have another guest with us here today, another story that we're going to be diving into. And we need to shout out Haylea. What up, girl? Tell us about yourself.
My name's Haylea. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Owasso, Oklahoma, and I'm in my third year at TU, and I'm a nursing major.
Go crazy.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, thank you so much for being willing to come on here and share your story, being brave to fill out the Google form. Definitely means a lot, and you're here.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
So tell us, Haylea, how did you get here?
So I got to TU through a lot of like prayer and definitely with God. And I feel like that's a lot of people's answers, but it's just true. When I was applying to colleges, I actually only applied to colleges when like they had like the free application window, because I was like, I don't want to even bother with that.
100%.
So it came down to TU and Newman University in Kansas.
Okay.
They both gave me like the same amount of scholarship. So I was kind of had like two paths. I was like, what do I do? Because I didn't want to go one way if like God wanted me to go the other way. Because I was like, this could either be really good or really bad. And I actually I have two older sisters, and one of my sisters goes to TU. She's a year above me, and she did not want me to step foot on TU.
Why was that?
She like wanted like her own life, if you will, and there was many sister arguments about that. But it came down to like realistically TU was like better, and then I ended up getting like a smaller scholarship on top of what I already had.
Yeah. So
like realistically TU was better, and deep down I wanted that. So it worked out.
I mean that's it's good that you ended up at the place that you wanted to be at.
Yeah.
The thought process that I'm thinking is TU and you said Newman? So are these schools that like you've always had the dream of going to, and it was like these are your number one since you could remember? Or like at what point did you kind of come to that realization of like, okay, these are the top schools I want? Like how did you arrive at that?
So I actually didn't know TU existed until my sister applied to TU, which was in 2021, maybe.
Okay.
And I lived here my whole life, so I don't know what rock I was under.
I was about to say, like,
I don't know.
I
don't know where I was, but I never like, up until my senior year, like I knew I wanted to go to college, but like I didn't have like a school like, oh my gosh, like I want to go there.
Yeah.
I just, like I said, I applied schools in Oklahoma and the surrounding states with the free like application window. So I did that, got accepted into like multiple, applied for scholarships, and then when it came down to scholarships, it was TU versus Newman. Yeah. And that's what like,
So it's kind of like scholarships was kind of the
big
factor.
My two older sisters were all in college right now. So
they're in college right now.
Yeah. All three of us.
All three of y'all.
Yeah.
And so you said two older. So are you the youngest?
Yes.
In your okay.
Yeah.
So you're the youngest, two older, and are they both at TU?
No, one's at TU and one is at OSU. Online. Okay. Yeah. So I also wanted to do like scholarship was important to me because 3 kids in college, a lot.
Understandable.
So yeah.
And it sounds like that, especially when you're like, if I'm a apply for these schools when they have the free week.
Yeah,
where you can apply for free. So
I didn't even.
feel you.
My mom and dad were like, because they want to like, they like love. I don't want to say spoiling us, but like, they like to do that, and they were like, well, let us know like where you want to apply, and like we'll cover the fee. And I was like, I didn't tell them. I was like, okay. And then I went off in my own little world, and I was like applying to like these schools.
Yeah.
And then I was like, they were like, do you need anything? I was like, nope, I already got it figured out.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's cool. That's cool. And it's cool that you have that heart, right? Of I wanna do my part too. I don't want to just take advantage. Which
yeah, I feel so bad like asking my mom and dad for stuff, especially because like I want to work hard for what I have, and I appreciate everything they do for me. Like I do my best to like be humble and stay humble.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate everything they do, but I like want to give back. I want like as time goes on.
Which is a very good heart to have, especially being a nurse. That sounds like a very nurse. Like I wanna help in this and give back. So that's cool. So you mentioned that being, like following God's leading in a lot of this, and I guess at what point did your like faith start, or what point did you start to realize, I don't know, that you want a commitment to God, whether it's a commitment to follow God's plan, like because it sounds like there's that he was also in the midst of a lot of this as well. So when did all of that start, I guess?
So I grew up going to church. Like my parents went when they were little, so I've always gone, and so I always knew about like God and Jesus, like the whole story, and not story because it really happened, but you know what I mean. Went to church. I went to church Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday evening. Like we went to all the services. My mom and dad were like involved with like the youth group. My mom and dad did the like vacation Bible schools at my church, so I helped with that.
Oh, so wait, so when they did it, were they doing it for like you and this, like how do I say this? Were they doing it for you and everyone else? Like, were you a part of that? Were they ministering to you, and then eventually you started ministering with them, or was it you were? Oh, it was just simply you ministering with them.
Well, when I was little, my church had vacation Bible schools, and other people were like over that, and like I went to it, and my mom and dad like helped with it.
Okay.
And then when my mom and dad kind of took over it for a couple years, I was like a crew leader, so I had my own little group, like taking them around and talking to them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How was that experience, like doing that with your parents and like actively doing that ministry?
It was fun. It was kind of stressful because it is your parents, so they can get like, they can tell you what to do, but like not everybody else. It was really fun. I mean, I'm really lucky, fortunate to have grown up in a household where everyone serves God. Okay. And I feel like some people might think that's like the easy, because like, oh, like you've had them your whole life, so like you don't go through troubles, which is completely false. And since I brought up Vacation Bible School, this is just a funny story I want to share. When I was little, one year I went to a different church's Vacation Bible School, and I was like maybe 5 years old, and I was on the monkey bars, and I thought I was like big stuff at 5 years old on the monkey bars. And the girl was like, do you need help? And I was like, no, I got this. And then I jumped off and broke my arm.
Ouch.
Yeah. And then the girl called my mom. She was like, I used to be a nurse and I don't think it's broken. Yeah. And then we went to the hospital and they were like, you need a cast for like 6 months.
Like, it was broken. That's crazy.
It was broken. Yeah.
No, that's real. That's real. Okay, so so you were active in Vacation Bible School, attending it. Yes. Eventually your parents, go from involvement to running it, and you transition with them in that and helping them. So at what point does a lot of this start becoming real for you? Because it starts off kind of story, but then it turns to reality. Yeah. When does that shift kind of?
I want to say, so I got baptized in 2018 because I just like felt like the push like spiritually for it. And so ever since then I kind of started, I guess, my own relationship with God. And then high school, I want to say COVID, like when 2020, when the lockdown happened, it was like there's nothing else to do, so I was reading my Bible more and like praying more. And then most definitely in college, because like I don't want to, everyone makes mistakes, but I don't want to go making stupid mistakes. So I was like definitely like in the Word more. People from my church like gifted me like devotionals, so I was reading those a lot.
And this was in college?
Yes.
Okay. When you say in college, is this like this year, last year? At what point was
So I started 2023 fall.
Okay.
So since then.
Okay.
But like 2025, I feel like is the closest, like starting in January, is the closest I've like been and felt to God. And I'm actually doing a 1-year reading plan, like the whole Bible front to back.
Yeah.
And I haven't missed like one day, one chapter this whole year.
Go crazy.
And like, I'm so proud of myself for that, because you know how hard it is to like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it later. But I was like, no, I was like, just do it.
Yep.
Because like, I feel like we should make time for God. And like, oh, I'm too busy today. Like, I have to go to the store, I have to go to class.
Yeah.
Even if it's like 11 p.m. and my eyes are shut, I'm like still forcing myself to read it. Read like, I need to get it done.
Especially reading through some of them books that might want to put you to sleep at times.
Is like, this is his dad. This is his dad. This is his dad. Yeah. I even read those. I was like, I'm not skipping one word.
Can barely pronounce.
Yeah, I was like
80% of those names.
I like out loud. I was like, God, I'm gonna say this wrong, but you know what I'm trying to say.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Okay, so so it sounds like a lot of people is what kind of came around to support you kind of during that season.
Yeah.
And so when you say that you felt this push to get baptized, the spiritual kind of like like what was happening in your life that really made that like how would you articulate that spiritual push for someone who's like, what does that mean?
Well, for me, it was actually my church was having a this other church, I can't remember their name or where they were from, but they came to my church and had like I don't want to call it a play, but like a production.
Yeah.
And it was like 3 nights, but it was like the same one each night. And my mom and dad were helping with it because they were like really involved in like the youth and stuff. And so I went to it, and the first night there was a scene of college students like living their life, like some were partying and drinking, others were like going to church. The ones going to church were getting made fun of because they weren't going out and partying and drinking. And then at the end of the skit, I believe they got in a car crash and died, and now like they're in front of God. And the one going to church was like, God told them like, well done, my good and faithful servant. And the people behind him were like, they got rejected, and they're like, I went to church when I was like 6 years old, like why can't I come in? And he's like, well, you weren't living your life for me. Yeah. And then that like really hit me, because I was like, I don't want, when I'm standing in front of God, I don't want to be rejected.
Yeah.
So, and then the second night of the production, I actually can't remember. It was either the second or the third night. One of my friends was there with me, and at the end of it, they had like an altar call, and he looked at me and he was like, I feel like I need to go up there. And I was like, I feel like you do too. Let's go together.
Yeah.
And then the next day, or that same night, the pastor of my church was like, we're doing baptisms tomorrow. And we looked at each other and we were like, tomorrow's the day. It's now or never. Yeah. So, and then my sister actually joined us, and then the friend's brother, we all got baptized on the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's interesting to see how, like different people kind of come into that space in different ways,
Mm-hmm.
right? They, whether it was it was a certain sermon, a certain event that happened in their life, and like it's cool to hear that
Yeah.
that you saw this production that kind of moved you in a way,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of made you like think about these questions and like,
Yeah.
oh, I gotta lock in with God.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay, that's cool. So from that day forward, right, and more specifically, right, you go up for the altar call, you get baptized, you commit, and now you start walking in this.
Mm-hmm.
What were, I guess, some of the responses from like your parents and their support in your life and the church community coming around you? What was that like as you started going down?
I remember we have these so I went to this church since I was like, before I was born. I was like born into this church.
Yeah.
And I remember like when I got baptized, one of our really good family friends was like, oh, like we have a new member like in Christ. And I was like, yeah, let's have a party.
Yeah.
And everyone was very supportive and like happy. And my parents were like, we're so proud of you, like that you chose this on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, growing up you just follow what your mom and dad do.
Yeah.
But now that like you decided this, like we didn't push you to do this. This was your own decision.
No, 100%.
So,
No, that's
yeah.
cool. That's cool. Okay, so fast forward, it sounds like from this time, and was that, do you say 2018?
Mm-hmm.
So that was 2018. You go through COVID that kind of gave, like, I don't know, the image that's in my mind, it kind of isolated you for a time to be with God and continue to grow, reading the word, prayer, etc. And then, did you say you came into college in 2023?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so between COVID, entering college 2023, how did you see yourself grow out of like COVID? Like coming out of COVID from spending that time, what were some identifying marks that like, man, this is how I could tell like this was good. This was a good season.
Well, I'll start in 2020. So my grandma on my mom's side, we call her Mimi. My Mimi, my granddaddy. They're like the best grandparents, best people in the whole world.
Yes,
But they live in Virginia. So like we don't see them a lot. But when we do, it's like I'm crying because I laugh so hard because they're just so funny. And even before COVID, we would do this, but like every day for lunch, like in the summer and stuff, like me and my Mimi would FaceTime and just eat lunch together and like chat about life, or we'd like play Minion Rush. That was her favorite game. We'd like do stuff like that on FaceTime together. And then in August 2020, she got COVID, and she went to the doctor and they're like, take this medicine, go home, you'll be fine. So she did that, and then she got worse. She went back to the hospital. She was in the hospital from August to mid-September, and just getting worse every day. So like instinct kicks in, like my family, we all start praying more, because like we know that like God has a plan, but we really wanted him to like, we really wanted the plan to go our way. Like she comes home, and we all live happily ever after. So that's not what happened. Our prayer got answered in a different way. She did get healed and she did go home, but not her earthly home. She passed away on September 13th, 2020. And it was really hard on my family, especially my mom and her sister and my grandpa. And so my mom flew down there like instantly, and then we followed like a few days after. We got stuff in order. And it was really hard for our family, but and not to like, I don't like, who am I to question God? But we were all kind of like, why? Like, like we prayed so much for this, and like, not that the prayer didn't not work. It just like things work out for reasons like unknown. And that's what happened for us. But I also feel like what am I trying to say? If she like were to have gotten better and came home, like she would have like medical issues.
Yeah.
So in like thinking about it now, it's best that she did. She's in heaven now, way better place. Sometimes never mind, I'm not gonna say that. I don't want to make a joke right now. But but yeah. Anyways. So that really I don't want to like it didn't take us away from God or like me away from God. In a way, I feel like maybe it brought me closer to him.
Yeah.
Because like I know that he has a plan, and what am I trying to say? Give me a second.
No, take your time. Just as a question, as you're chewing on that, just give you something else to chew on. What year was it when you said it was August to September, and it was September she passed?
Yeah.
What year was this?
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Oh man. So had you already been kind of going deeper in like study before this, and then this happened while you were going deeper?
I want to say April 2020 is when I was like, I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna pray more. I'm gonna read my Bible more.
Yeah.
And then, so going through that, and then that happened, and I feel like I still kept doing what I was doing. I still kept praying more. I still kept reading my Bible more, but even more than I was before, because I was like, I know this is for a reason, and like I trust God's plan, even like if it's hard to like see in the future or
100%.
want to know why things are happening. So
I real quick before we continue, I just want to say thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Thank you for being willing to share those like really positive experiences in your life. And sometimes those are easier to share than some of the more difficult, troubling, questioning moments. As I'm hearing you share all this, I'm just kind of like trying to imagine like this journey, right?
Yeah.
And what I almost see happening in this is it almost seems like God knew that this was going to happen. And so he allowed you to press deeper into him so that when it did happen, you'd be really close. It's almost like the image that comes to my mind is someone, with their baby in their hand, and they're like on a river. I don't know why this is in my head, but this is the image that's in my head. It's like a river coming in, and there's a waterfall up ahead, and the baby may not understand what they're about to go through in this waterfall drop, but the mom does. So I don't know, I get this image of like the mom holding the baby really tight because we're about to drop, but we're gonna be okay. And I don't know. That's just as you're talking, that's like what's kind of coming to my mind about this whole scene is like God's like, okay, we're about to go through something that you may not be able to see, but I do.
That actually reminds me, I don't know what year it was, 2022, 2023. I had a dream one night, and I was like, in my dream, like my grandma was gone, but I was like texting her because I was like, I just gotta tell somebody. Like I know she won't see it, but I gotta tell somebody. And I was telling her about like my life. I think it was me deciding like about college. I was like, I don't know what to do. And then in my dream, she texted me back and she was like, it'll all be okay. And that was like the response. And then I remember woke up feeling like so sentimental. And I was like, it'll all be okay.
It'll all be okay.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Okay, so that happened 2020, and it kind of pressed you deeper into your journey with God. As as you kind of came on the other side, getting ready for school, what were some of the factors that you started to kind of see like God's hand in the direction that you're going for like school?
Well, so that happened my freshman year, no, my sophomore year of high school. So my sophomore and junior year of high school are kind of a blur because I did that online because of COVID.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I as I sit down with people and talk with people, I forget that the people that I'm connecting with in this time frame a lot of them went through
Yeah.
high school online. Okay.
Yeah. So I went back in person my senior year.
Okay.
And then for the longest time, like since middle school, I wanted to go to school to be a dentist.
Mm-hmm.
And then senior year happened, and I was like, I don't want to do that. So
what made the switch, or what made the change?
Well, I was doing my research, and you have to I like realized how much school it was, like 8 years of school, 10 years of school, and I was like, I don't want to, honestly, like dead serious, I was like, I don't want to be in school for that long.
Yeah.
So I was like, what else can I do? And I've always like loved helping people and like taking care of people, and I feel like I have such like a soft, open heart for that. And then I was like, oh, nursing. And then ever since then I've been like determined. I feel like it's always like been there in the back of my mind, but it just kind of came to the surface when I was a senior in high school.
Okay.
And then started looking into nursing schools. TU has one. And I don't necessarily know the steps where God was like, do this, this, and this, but I know that like it was all laid out for me to end up here.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
Yeah.
I definitely feel that. Do you feel like as you have been walking through like the grief process with grandma, college, and figuring out that and your direction, like did you ever see like overlap with the two? Because I know you mentioned like you had this dream, and I guess I wonder if like I don't know if there's any overlap with those two.
I honestly never even really thought about it that way, but I want to say no. I don't think
It's cool.
so.
No, I was just curious because I didn't, and I mean, not saying that this is overlap, but I didn't know if this may have been a correlation, like grandma being in hospital settings, you kind of moving into a nurse space from a dentist.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know if there was any like...
Definitely, when I decided I wanted to go into nursing, I definitely thought about like, well, what was her experience like? Like whenever she was like able to be responsive for that, like were her like nurses nice to her? I remember hearing my grandpa told my mom, he was like, one of the nurses, like my grandma always wore her hair in a French braid, and he was like, one of the nurses like washed her hair today and braided it for her. And I was like, that is just so like, even at your worst, like you want to look your best.
100%.
And that like really made me happy because like she's still being cared for. Yeah.
No, that's cool. And so it's interesting when you see moments like this where it's like being able to go into like a space and minister in a way that you hope somebody ministered to someone that you love as well, like those two things. Okay, so in your life right now, right, like as you look at your right in 2025, like what's going on in life right now? You mentioned reading the Bible. What are some challenges, maybe some opportunities that you see in your current space?
Okay. We'll start with challenges. I thought a lot about how I wanted to approach this topic before coming on here, and I decided that it is and was a part of my college experience, so I want to like talk about it even if it's just a little bit. So for challenges, I want to talk about people and relationships with people. So my freshman year, 2 years ago, I met people that I thought I was going to be like friends for life. Like I thought we were ride and die. And and then I also met another person that I thought was going to turn into a more, so we have like friendships and like romantic relationships.
Yeah.
And I met someone, and I thought that we were on the same page because I was told we were on the same page.
Yeah.
But we were waiting for a good time, I guess, to like take that step in a relationship. And so I just remember I was like, so I'm not even gonna lie, I was so heart eyes for this person. Like if you looked at me, like the heart eye emoji would be on my face. So like I was it was just like that. And so like these years go by, and slowly, like as time went on, I started seeing like what was really going on. Like, oh, you say you're waiting, but I think you're just saying that to keep me in this spot.
Yeah.
I don't want to like say like give out too much, but like you're keeping me in this spot just for when it's convenient for you. And I, like me personally, before going into college, I was like, I have a plan. I want to like graduate college at this time. I want to get married at this time. I want to start a family at this time. And I was like, that's not going to happen if I stay in this like cycle with this person.
Yeah.
Because like slowly over time, it started like, I've never had like a bad experience with a person before. So I never really knew like the signs of that. But slowly over time, like my friends and like family were like, hey, like this is weird. Like these actions, words said and actions are not matching up from this person. And I just remember I was like, it's fine. Like I got this under control. And then over time, I started seeing it for myself, but I didn't want to admit that, like, for example, like little lies, betrayal, gaslighting, manipulation, just things like that. I started seeing it for myself, and I was really sad, like, for like months, because I knew that this wasn't going to end in the way I wanted it to end. But this person was like keeping me in a spot to where like when we're together, like everything's sunshine and rainbows. Like it's like we're having such a good time. It's going to like, basically I was getting false hope that this was going to turn into something more. Whenever we weren't together, he was off doing who knows what with other people. And then I finally had to put my foot down one day, and because I wanted this, so I was like overlooking the bad things because the spot that I was like getting put in. And then I put my foot down one day, and it was really hard for me because I was heart eyes. And since then, it was really hard decision for me. I was really sad. My family and friends noticed. They were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I don't want to be sad. I just can't help but be sad right now. In a couple weeks, I'll be back to normal Hayley." And they were like, "Okay." And normal Hayley's back, has been back. But I tell that story, if any of that made sense. I didn't want to like go in detail.
I mean, I followed.
Yeah,
I followed.
if you followed. I say that to say that I had a plan, and this ties back to God. I had a plan. I wanted this, this, and this, and then I thought I was slowly getting that plan, and then I feel like God kind of was like, you have to learn the hard way. Not everything in life goes as you want it to go. And I did. I feel like I got smacked in the face, but it happens.
I feel it. if you don't mind me asking, just as I'm following, I'm a timeline guy. I like knowing when things happen.
Yeah.
And so like this foot down moment, at what time frame are we talking about that this foot down?
I put my foot down, and it's staying down. That was just almost 2 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a recent foot down.
Recent.
And this is something that has been occupying your time, your energy, your emotions for the last
2 years.
2 years.
That's why this was such a big deal to me. And it's like, when people like ask me about college, that's the first thing that hits my mind, because it was something I invested in for 2 years, and ever since I've been in college. That's, that class friends. So now that I'm me again, I'm like, well, what do I want to do now? But yeah, I also have one more thing to say about that. In high school, I had a lot of friends who would tell me about like their relationship issues, I guess. And it would be like what I just went through. And I remember I would look at them and be like, what are you doing? I was like, you obviously deserve better than that. Like, you need to go somewhere else, kick him to the curb. And then I remember they would tell me, they're like, but I like him so much. And like, when we're together, like, everything feels perfect. And then I was like, okay. I was like, good luck with that. Let me know how that goes in the future. But now I don't really believe in karma, but if I were to, I feel like this was mine, because now it's happened to me. And I remember telling like my family, my friends about it, and they're like, well, why did you let that go on for so long? Why did you let that go on for so long? And I'm like, well, because I really liked him. And like, it's like when we were together versus like separated doing our own things, it's like two different people. Like, it's crazy to me how someone can like flip personalities in just that instant. Like, I feel like you should be the same everywhere you go. And I remember telling my family that, and they're like, I just don't understand. And I was like, well, I've come to realize that I hope they never understand, because I think the only way you will truly understand that is if it happens to you. So I hope my sisters never understand that. I hope my friends never understand that. But I also feel like it's shaped me into a better person, like overall. Because I am, pretty much everyone that knows me is like, you're such a nice person. I've never seen you mad. Only my sisters have seen me mad because they're my sisters. But they're like, I can't even imagine you being mad. And that's just because like I try my best to be a reflection of Christ. And I'm not wearing it today, but I have a bracelet like WWJD. And I wear it. I try to wear it every day. Not gonna lie, I didn't wear it today because it didn't match my outfit. It's a different it's a different color. And I just like try all my decisions. I'm like, what would Jesus do? Because I don't want to go do something dumb and people be like, but she's a Christian. So like, it's okay if I go do that. And that's like my mindset for a lot of things. So I feel like this thing that I went through has helped me to think more like, in a way I feel like it has helped me to become more emotionally intelligent and mature. And there was one more thing I wanted to say, but my mind just went blank.
It's all good. Well, I was just going to say, about the whole like maturity and growth thing, because I mean, I can definitely see that being a growth thing for you, because where before you would look at somebody in that situation and be like, okay, like, might be a little off, fam. But now you're like, oh, no, I get it. I get that space that you're in, which makes you a lot more relatable. But at the same time, you'll be able to coach better through that. Versus saying, just leave them. You'll know that a better way to approach that, I guess you can say.
I also remember, My mind just went blank again. I was about to say something really good too. I was about to share a word of wisdom.
Well,
I don't know.
On another note, because I just I'm chewing on all these different pieces. I feel like this is definitely something that people need, and I say that more specifically in the college spaces, because a lot of people are going into college and they're looking at relationships, they're looking at, finding someone, right? College is the time to do it. You're surrounded by so many people, you might as well take advantage of this moment. And oftentimes we can end up attaching ourselves to people who hold us by a string, and we just kind of, the image that comes to my mind is dangling a carrot in front of like a horse. And just
that was literally me, like, no joke. It was.
So I have a question, because you say, Hayley's back, and you mentioned kind of like going through this little bit of a slump, and now you're kind of in a better state. But what I guess I'm more curious about is I'm curious about the version of you that came in freshman year, that was very like, wide-eyed, hopeful, excited, and the version of you that's now that's like matured and had gone through some things, and I've experienced some things, and I know a little bit more about life, because I feel like one of the biggest things that gets attacked in this whole sphere is self-worth. I feel like self-worth can get really, really attacked in that space of like, am I worthy enough to be somebody that you pick, right? Like, am I worthy enough for that? Or is there something wrong with me? And so I guess what I'm saying is, like, did you have any challenges or battles with questions like that? And how did you get on this side, if you did have those? If you didn't, how did you maintain yourself through that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So when I started college, I was like, I know who I am. I know what I want. I know what I need. I'm not going to let nobody change that. And then this person, I slowly started, like, if I was busy and they were like, hey, you want to go hang out? I would drop what I was doing and just go hang out with them. And, like, what I was doing or want to do, I can do that later.
Yeah.
Because, like, I just, like I said, I was heart eyes. Like, I wanted to, like, spend time with them whenever I could. And that slowly started to not be a good thing, because like, why am I dropping everything for someone? I don't want to say putting someone before me, but like, why am I doing this for a guy? Like,
yeah,
because I feel like I'm a pretty independent person, and like, I get things done on time. I do things. And as time went on, I remember one day something happened, and I was like, why would someone do this to me? Like, I don't understand how someone could lie or hurt someone like this. And then I remember, like, the next day he said something, and I was like, oh, everything's perfect. I was like, and I just forgot about what happened before that, because like the grip he had on me, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that night, after I was all happy, I was like, what am I doing? I was like, because now this person was starting to, like, affect, like, my emotions, like, my attitude. I remember one time I had an attitude one day. Sorry, Dad. But my dad was like, why are you being, like, so mean? And I was like, I'm not. And then I remember, like, 5 minutes later, this person texted me, and I was like, you want to hang out? And I was like, oh. And then my dad was like, why are you suddenly happy? And I was like, I've been like this all day. It was things like that. Like, it was affecting me, and then I slowly started to see it myself, and, like, I was like, what is happening to me? Like, I don't want to be this person, Like, yeah. I'm my own person, but I was letting, like, someone control me in a way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I finally figured it out not that long ago, that you can't you can only do so much for a person, because deep down I know that they're a person in there, like a genuine person in there.
Yeah.
But I feel like people have struggles of their own, like their own battles to fight, and there's only so much you can do before like you go down with them. And I was like, I need to take myself out of this situation. It's not good. It's not going to get anywhere, and I'm not going to have the life I want if I keep doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's good. You know, as you're talking, you know, I'm like seeing all this, and it's funny because the image of like the waterfall and the mom holding the baby came back to my mind, because in January you started the plan reading through the whole Bible, and you've been hitting it every single day with no misses. And 2 months ago, you end up going through this moment that kind of puts you down in a slump. And it's like, you know, that image of God holding you, saying, hey, you're about to go through something again this in a couple months here, and I need to press you closer to me, so that when you get to that point, you'll be strong enough to get through it. You know, to like, and when I say get through it, I mean strong enough to put your foot down, because it takes strength. Yeah. But also strong enough to recover after and be Haylea again.
Yeah, I feel like, honestly, for a long time, like for months, I saw this coming. And I knew that if it were to, like, not that it ever started, but if it were to end, it would have to be me doing it, because I knew that this person wouldn't do that. And so I prayed a lot about it. I was like, God, I don't know what to do. Like, give me the strength, like, honestly, because to outsiders, this might not seem like a big of a deal, just like a flick of a finger, go away. But for me, it was like every day, like talking to someone every day, things like that, phone calls, and then just to nothing is really hard. Yeah. But I feel like God really gave me the strength for that. And I don't really even know if anyone knows this, but I also have like a little journal. And I'm like, when I have a bad day, I'm like, dear God, it's me again. And I'm like, because I feel like writing it, because sometimes when you pray, you're just like, dear God, please help me. Yeah. But I feel like if you actually go through and write out how you're feeling, it helps.
100%.
Yeah. And like you're giving more attention to God. So that also helped me. Yeah. And
I like to say that writing is the ultimate form of like reflection and self-awareness. Like when you write, you're seeing it right there. You get to not, cause sometimes when you talk, you forgot what you said 5 seconds ago. But when you're writing something down, you can look back up and be like, oh yeah, that sounds kind of intense. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's really cool.
Yeah, and I feel like since then, I snapped out of the delusion I was in, and now I'm back to like, why did I do that? I was like, why did I let myself like fall, if that makes sense? Like, because I know who I am, like my standards for myself and other people, and I let someone like take that from me. Yeah. And then it's back, and I'm Haylea again.
No, that's what's up. That's what's up. Hayley's back.
Hayley's back. Don't mess with Haylea.
No, that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, so so those are some challenges that you're kind of in right now. Is there anything else happening in this time frame other
than? Yeah. So the other friends I mentioned, freshman year, I had a little friend group, and I thought we were going to be friends for life, and then there's just some things that different. I'm someone like, if I talk to someone, if they say something I don't agree with or different beliefs, like I'm gonna respect that. Like I'll like tell you what I believe, and I'll hear what you believe, and then I'll respect that. Like I'm not gonna bash you for that, because who am I to judge? But for this group of people, they shared their opinions, beliefs. I listened. I respected. I shared mine, and I was like arrested in jail for like what I said. or what I believe. And so, and then they apologized time after, and I was like, I forgive you, but I just don't want to surround myself with people like that, you know, because then eventually I'm probably going to go down a whole rabbit hole again. So I do have one really good friend from that. We were like glue in that because we had the same situation happen. But I do have really good friends here at TU. I have 2 really good friends still from high school.
That's awesome.
2 really good friends at TU. One, my bestest friend in the whole world, doesn't even live here. She lives on the other side of the world. But like, yeah, I have my people.
Get
so
your little unit.
No matter where they are, I got them. Yeah.
No, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. It is tough a lot of times when you're dealing with like friendships and you know, I don't mean to dig too deep into all the details of the situation, but again, timeline wise, what time frame was this when this
falling out happened this time last year. November 2024 is when that happened. But then there was kind of some things here and there. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's intense. When that falling out happened, how did that affect you as you went into, I guess, the new year? Like
well, I feel like when it's a new year, everyone says new year, new me. But I really felt like it was a new me because I was like, I had this Bible plan I was going to do. And this is going to sound so bad. I don't want to say I got rid of people, but like my circle is like clean with people that will build me up and like not tear me down, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I went into the new year. It was like hard because friends that I like ate lunch with, got dinner with, like I didn't have that anymore. So that was a little tough. But I adjusted to that. And yeah.
No, that's cool. I mean, I was just curious because I know sometimes it's almost like when you have fallen out with friends, when you have fallen out with really like anyone, it's like there's these voids that get created. And it sounds like you have a good, you know, still solid unit around you.
Yeah, I've always thought this, but definitely now that I've kind of gone through that, I think it's definitely better to have like a few close friends than be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
Because there's no possible way you can be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
Like people are bound to like be fake and things like that. So, but when you have like that close-knit group where you really like share stuff and talk to people with, and they can actually like relate to you and listen, I feel like it's so much better than just going out and literally like being best friends with everyone in the world. Yeah.
No, that's cool. Okay, so this was good. This is all good, solid angle. So when you look at your life kind of like when, you know, way in the future, whether it's graduation or even further down the line of time, where do you see yourself in the future?
I see myself, I don't know where I want to be on the map, but I love the beach. I would love to be by a beach, landlocked right now. So I don't know why I'm so obsessed with the beach, but I love it.
What beaches have you gone to that you just admire and love?
Well, this past summer I went to Kauai. Yeah. Literally, like, I would move there if I could. It was so peaceful. Like, if I lived there, I would probably throw my phone away. Like, I don't need it. It was such a peaceful, the most peaceful week of my whole 20 years of existence.
That's what's up.
And yeah, I've been to Virginia Beach, Outer Banks, North Carolina.
Okay.
Over in that area.
Oh, yeah. That's what's up. So somewhere on a beach is where you're...
Somewhere on a beach. If you like the beach and you want to be on the beach, hit me up.
Hey, that's
we can
the
go
one.
to the beach.
That's the one.
And obviously nurse. somewhere. I'm interested in labor and delivery or anywhere pediatrics because I love little kids.
That's the one.
And yeah,
I just do want to say, when my wife and I had our daughter, we had a nurse that was top of the line.
Aw.
And it made the experience so amazing.
Yeah.
And we also had one nurse that didn't make their experience really amazing. And so I'm just telling you that to let you know.
I'm going to be the amazing
labor
one.
and delivery nurse, they make a difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to be the amazing one.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been telling people, I'm like, I'm just going where the wind takes me. Because I tried to plan it my whole life. Like I said, obviously that didn't work. God's like, it's not what I want to be done. It's not my will, but God's will. Yeah. So I've learned that definitely the hard way. So now I'm just I just go day by day. I don't even think about what I'm doing next Tuesday.
That's the one.
I'm just thinking about today, tomorrow, and I go from there.
No, that's what's up. That's what's up. And it also sounds like there was a big aspect of like surrender in that whole process of saying, like, God, I'm releasing those responsibilities to you to handle.
Honestly, since I did that, my life has been peaceful. Like, I should have done that a long time ago. But you live and you learn. So
no, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
And like I like to just ask this question just for kicks and giggles. If you had the opportunity to paint that picture of saying, God, if I can give you, this is what I see would be awesome. Where I like to work, what I like to do. What would that picture look? What would that future picture look like for you? What would Hayley's future picture look like?
I would probably be in Hawaii, on the beach, working my nurse job, my labor and delivery job, and I low-key want a horse too. I've never lived on a farm or anything like that, but I low-key want a horse too. I don't know. I just like a peaceful life, you know? That's what I want, and I pray that that's what I get.
Hey, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. No, that's what's up. I'll tell you right after this, I'm about to look up horses in Hawaii. I'm pretty sure they're there.
Yeah, I went horseback riding on the beach.
I'm like,
yeah.
Man, pretty sure horses are in Hawaii.
They're there, yeah.
No, I always like to see where people's heads and hearts are at. So, as we come to a close of this episode, one of the things I like to do is I like to give an opportunity for you to share kind of words of wisdom that you would give to Haylea coming in freshman year, ready to conquer the world. What words of wisdom would you give to her on her journey?
This one's really basic, but not everyone is your friend. For real. And let's see. Not everyone's your friend. It's okay to not have it figured out, because I did but didn't. Because whenever I didn't, I was like, well, what now? I was freaking out, like, what now? But everything falls into place. Trust God. I know when I leave here, I'm going to think of a really good one. But that's all I got right now. I just got put on the spot.
Hey, if you think of a good one later down the road, just shoot it to me.
Yeah.
We'll figure what
I have good ones, because sometimes I'll drop one and my friend will be like, that was really good.
No,
and I was like, it just comes.
Yeah. No, we'll drop it. We'll drop it in right there for the folks.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's good to think about that, especially coming in a freshman year and being excited. I remember when I kind of went to college, it was kind of a similar experience. I can imagine this a similar experience to a lot of people. When you come in, you're so excited.
Yeah.
Like, man, this person and this person. Oh, you're from this background too. Right? Like, and the thought that comes to my mind is, like, when you kind of come into spaces like that, chemistry gets highlighted, but you don't really see blanking on the word. Like there's chemistry, but then there's like a different one that is more strong. Like you don't find the people that compliment you. You don't find the people that I'll just use that word for now.
Yeah, I know.
You don't find the people that
at.
actually compliment you on your journey. You find people with chemistry. And even though chemistry feels good in the moment, chemistry, you know, I can walk on the street and just had chemistry with the cashier person. Like we just vibed. Like it was a cool vibe, and we can run off that thinking that this is a life partner or this is, you know, a best friend forever because of that chemistry, and it feels so good. But then as you go down the journey, you start to realize like, oh, there's no like we don't really compliment each other. There's no I'm still looking for that word, but I'm just gonna stick.
I know what you mean. It's like the adrenaline is so high, and like you don't want to be starting college. You don't want to be like alone, so you like try to get friends as fast as you can, I guess.
Yeah.
But they don't. That doesn't mean they're gonna last. Yeah.
Yeah. This was good.
Yeah.
This is good. I feel like we talked about a lot of important things. I think are gonna be encouraging to people on their journey. Thank you so much for coming on here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This was nice.
Yeah.
This was very nice. And thank y'all for watching, for connecting, for listening. And if you want to come on to the fitting room, we would love to have you. Sit down, have a conversation just about your college journey, and fill out the Google form, and we will make it happen. And so, until then, thank y'all so much for tuning in. This was a pleasant experience, and I hope that you see how you fit in the fitting room. Peace.
Bye.
That's it.
Cool.
Hey, that was nice.